All right, welcome back everybody. It is run streak day 103. And also if we do a 5K or longer today, which we will, that would be 5K or better streak day 100. So nice little milestone there, 100 days in a row doing 5K or more. Can't say I ever thought I'd even attempt something like that, but here we are. So today I wanted to answer a question that not only I have been wondering for a while, but Inga as well. And that is, how does donating plasma affect your running? And will it impact your running streak? So here's the deal. This is something we've been kind of mulling over doing for a while now. We have friends that have been doing it for years, and you know, it's a nice, easy way to make some extra money. So we finally decided to go and do it last night, and here I am today running. Now granted, it's late in the afternoon, so I waited like a full 24 hours, almost, not quite, about 22 hours since my plasma donation, and I'm out running today and I feel perfectly fine. I'm going at my easier pace, like 8:45 per mile, and feels fine. Don't really feel any impacts at all. Didn't really feel much, you know, weakness or effects from it yesterday either. Like right after the donation, I felt fine after that. Now I kind of want to go over what it entails to actually donate, what you need to bring, what you need to do to prepare for it, and what to expect when the process begins. So once I get across this busy street, we'll get into that. Okay, so first things first, I'm just gonna let you guys know which center we decided to go to, because there's several just in the Des Moines area, let alone other cities might even have even more. We went with BioLife just because they're the closest to our home, so it was gonna be the easiest drive there and back. And what to expect when you get there? Well, first you need to bring certain documents. They wanted a form of ID. I brought my driver's license, although their website does offer, you know, other forms of ID that are acceptable. They needed proof of address, so I brought my internet bill, and then they also wanted my social security card. So those are the three pieces that I brought. Okay, so next thing to expect when you get there is they're gonna ask you what you ate within 2 hours of your appointment. And if your answer is not a full meal, they will either deny you, or if they're not busy, they will send you out to eat and tell you to come back afterwards. So you have to make sure that you eat a good meal before going in there, because that's supposed to help keep the negative effects of the plasma donation down, keep you from getting weak and so forth. And you also want to be well hydrated as well. For my meal, I had 3 rice cakes with peanut butter, I had 2 pieces of toast with black beans on top, then I had a can of Italian wedding soup. So it was a decent meal, and that was perfectly acceptable. Okay, next thing to expect. There will be a questionnaire where you sit down at a computer station, and I'm guessing here, but it's probably about 40 to 50 questions. I could be wrong on that. Seemed like it was about that much. And they're mostly questions with involving, you know, have you been in contact with people with certain diseases? What else did they ask? Have you sold your body for sex in so many days, and blah, 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 blah. A lot of questions regarding sex with other people, drugs, and then a lot of disclosures like, do you understand the side effects that could occur? Are you okay with this? Blah, 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 blah. So a lot of questions to answer. Make sure you read them all carefully. If you answer any in a way that they find worrisome, they will go over those with you to make sure that everything's on the up and up. And if it is, then you're good to go. If not, they will deny you. Okay, next up, they will sit you down and they're gonna poke one of your fingers to draw out some blood. And they're gonna do a real quick blood test to make sure that your protein levels are good your iron levels are good. They're also going to check your blood pressure, a couple other things during this little finger poke session. Finger poke isn't actually that bad. I made them do my thumb, but you can do whatever finger you want. One of your fingers will be assigned to be your fingerprint finger for scanning your fingerprint, and that's how you sign for things and do stuff like that. So they won't let you use that finger, but you can pick any other finger. It's not very painful. I had them do my thumb, which I was thinking would be the least painful of the fingers. I don't know, it wasn't too bad at all. They just draw like a little teeny tiny bit of blood out of there, and then they do the whole separate it from the plasma thing so you can see it, see what it looks like. Now, if your blood numbers come back fine and your blood pressure's fine, all that stuff, they will then send you to a nurse and you will undergo a physical exam. It's not too personal of a physical exam. They don't make you strip, they don't do anything like that. They feel your stomach, make sure you're not in pain. A couple other things. They ask about tattoos, they ask about piercings, they check your lymph nodes. Just very basic stuff, not very intrusive or anything like that. And that took, oh, I don't know, 10 or 15 minutes or so. Not too bad. Okay, now at this point, if you passed everything and everything's all good, you now move on to the actual donation process. Now they're gonna send you to a station and they're gonna sit you down, have you relax for a minute. You set your stuff inside of a little bin inside the chair. If both arms are good as far as them being able to locate a vein on both arms, they will let you pick what arm they're going to draw out of. I picked my left arm for no reason in particular. Now once they hook you up to the machine, once the needle's in and it starts drawing blood, they ask that you keep squeezing your hand like this, pumping it to help the blood come out. Makes it easier. And if you stop doing that, or you're not doing it fast enough or hard enough, the machine will yell at you. A little red indicator will come on and tell you that you need to try harder, basically. So make sure you're doing that. You may want to bring a little like stress ball or something to squeeze. That way you're not just squeezing, you know, nothing, which was one of the mistakes that I made. I didn't have anything with me. But yeah, the needle that they stick in your arm, it's not super long, not super painful. I believe it's about that long to maybe an inch, and not very wide. Pretty painless. Once they sit you down, they draw out a little, and then they'll actually put some back in. So they'll separate the plasma from the blood, and then they'll pump the red blood cells back in with some other stuff. And the other stuff, I think it's like an anticoagulant to keep it from clotting. That stuff supposedly can cause some side effects. It can cause your lips, hands, and feet to tingle. Didn't do that for me. It can also cause a metallic taste in your mouth. Didn't do that for me either. But something to prepare for or look out for, and something to be expected according to the guy. Now, while you're in your chair, you're not allowed to eat, you're not allowed to drink, you're not allowed to sleep. You gotta just sit there. You can play around on your phone if you want, but again, they don't allow you to go on any kind of app that involves a camera. Of course, they don't allow any cameras in there at all, which is why I'm doing this video on my run instead of from in there. But yeah, just keep that in mind. Make sure you drink some water or grab a snack before you sit down, because you're gonna be in that chair for anywhere between 35 and 60 minutes. Now, the last thing I can say about the whole extraction process is while you're sitting there, you're gonna do the pump thing for a while, and then the machine will tell you to stop. You relax for a couple minutes, and then it'll start that process back over. So you can expect that about 2 or 3 times. It was 3 times for me. Now, they ended up taking a total of 832 milliliters out of me. Can vary per person depending on like weight and so forth, so that might be a little different, but that's about it. Overall, pretty painless process, wasn't too bad. One thing I will say, when you're new, it's your first time, they let you cut the line, so we didn't have to wait very long, well, really at all. We cut right to the front, and got in and out of there pretty quickly. When you've done it before, you have to wait in that line. So you want to make sure to schedule at a time that's probably not super busy. Last night was Friday night. That was probably a bad time to do it if it wasn't our first time. So there was a pretty long line there. Luckily we got to skip that. Now the next thing to talk about, I guess, is the pay. Now again, this can vary. In our case, we got paid $100 for the first visit. Our next visit will be $135. Then I think it's $100 after that. And then another, I want to say like $125, and then $95 after that. So it kind of goes up and down, but the second appointment always pays more than the first from what I'm seeing. So yeah, that's about it. Would I recommend it? Yes, it was pretty easy, pretty painless, a little extra money to spend, and not a lot of effort for it. Did it affect my running? No. Now again, you want to be smart about it. Eat well and drink well before. Also afterwards, eat a good meal and hydrate yourself. Now, at the end of the extraction process, I forgot about this, they will pump some saline into you, which is at room temperature, and it feels a little cold when it goes into your bloodstream. So keep that in mind. You might have to bring a blanket for the end there. Now, as far as the running goes, the way we planned it is I ran early that day, the day of the donation, went to do our appointment later in the afternoon, and then today I basically waited as close to 24 hours as possible to go ahead and run again. I honestly probably would have been just fine to run this morning, but I wanted to play it safe. Again, this is my first time donating. I have no experience in this, so I just wanted to see what it was like. Additionally, they will tell you up front, don't do any strenuous activity for 5+ hours after your donation. So again, if you're gonna run, make sure you run beforehand, or whatever your workout routine is, get it in beforehand, do your donation, come back strong the next day. Give it about, I mean, I gave it 24 hours, but I'm sure you can give it just overnight. And if you're feeling fine the next morning, you're probably good to go at that point. All right, well, hopefully that was helpful to anybody who's wondering about that process, wondering what it's like, wondering how it will affect them if they're working out. The reason why I didn't do it earlier, I have to be honest, because again, we've been thinking about doing this for a while just to have some extra spending money, is I didn't want it to affect the run streak. I didn't want to get 30 days in and then not be able to complete my, run streak the next day because I donated plasma for $100. $100 isn't worth, ruining the run streak for, in my opinion. But as long as you do it properly, you plan it properly, you eat well, drink well, all that stuff, you're gonna be just fine. Now, as far as my run today goes, let's check the numbers here. Pace today, 8 minutes, 52 seconds per mile. So pretty much my normal average, easy, slower pace. But again, had no problems, no weakness, no muscle soreness, no nothing, just feeling fine. Distance today was a little over 5 miles. My Garmin's actually about to die on me here, so I gotta save this before it dies and I lose my data. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna go upstairs. I never got a chance to do my movie review from the Bruce Willis movie last night, so I will go and film that upstairs after I eat. All right, so here's dinner. Here's our post-run meal. We got some whole wheat angel hair pasta, and then Inga made this, it's like lentil ragu sauce here, which is actually really good. This is our first time making this, but surprisingly good, actually. We may have to make this again. Basically just a red sauce with some cooked lentils in there. Pretty awesome. Lots of carbs, lots of protein, lots of good stuff in there. And we got ourselves a salad as well. Nice big salad on the side, of course. We're gonna smash this down and then we'll get into our movie review in a little bit. Okay, so I know it's been a really long video. Appreciate everybody sticking with me this long today. Anyway, into the movie here. It was called Marauders, and I'll put the little poster up here so you can see what it looks like. Had Bruce Willis, Dave Bautista was in there, Christopher Maloney from Law & Order SVU, a couple other people. Pretty good movie overall. Just right off the bat, I'll give my rating here. I would say 3.5 out of 5 stars. It was one of those ones where it was good enough to watch. I don't know that I'll ever actually watch it again, or not one of those ones where you're looking forward, like, yeah, I'm definitely gonna watch this 2 years down the road. I'm gonna want to watch this again. It wasn't that type of movie, but it was a movie that was good enough, like, you know what, I need something to watch tonight, I don't know what to watch, let's watch this. So the plot, basically Bruce Willis isn't the main character in it. He ends up being the main bad guy. There's a little bit of a spoiler for you there, but he's not the main character. It's more of a Christopher Meloni movie than it is a Bruce Willis movie. So basically it's about Christopher Meloni and Dave Bautista, who are Cincinnati PD, and they're trying to catch some bank robbers that are hitting Bruce Willis's bank. Boobers, I'm trying to make a video here, kitty. It's been a long day. My brain is scrambled at this point. Sorry about the long video. I'm gonna close this one out here. Thank you everybody for watching. Please like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell if you want to be notified for new videos. Till tomorrow, everybody. Take care.